What's good, y'all? It's your boy Will Powers back with another weekly live stream. So, the topic for tonight's live stream is going to be the importance of touching early and how to physically escalate the right way. Now, this is a really important topic because a lot of guys, they physically escalate, but they do it completely the wrong way. And a lot of guys also wait forever to touch the girl, and that's the worst thing you could possibly do. So in this live stream, I'm going to give you some simple quick little hacks, especially for day game. It'll also work for night game, but of how to, break the touch barrier early, talk about why that's really important to do that, as well as just kind of tell you the difference between physically escalating the wrong way and physically escalating the right way. And I'm not gonna give you the whole from top to bottom of how to escalate, but I'm just gonna kind of give you the general principles and a couple examples for each thing that I say. All right, so let's go ahead and get fucking started. This one I'm gonna try to keep a lot shorter. I'm gonna probably start doing shorter live streams because they take a long fucking time, and I don't know if you guys are actually watching the whole thing either. So and there's so much value, so you should be watching the whole thing, but I'm gonna try to make them a little bit more concise and shorter. So the importance of touching early. Let's start with that. Now, the reason why it's so important to touch early is because it breaks the touch barrier. Like if you touch a girl right away, or as soon as possible, then it's breaking the touch barrier. And now it's not going to be awkward when you touch her again, or when you try to touch her again, or you go to the next step of physical escalation. Also, it's very because the thing is, girls put guys in categories, and they very quickly will kind of see you either as a touchy-feely kind of guy, and then they just kind of accept that frame that you're just a very touchy-feely guy. And then because of that, they're receptive to your touch because they just know that that's just kind of how you are. And especially if they're attracted to you, then they're going to be receptive to your touch. But a lot of guys, what they do is they won't touch the girl for ever in the beginning of the interaction, whether it's a day game approach or a night game approach. And then when they do finally make the move, it's like this big, huge, giant leap to touch the girl, and she's like, whoa, that's fucking weird and creepy, and what's this guy's agenda? And that's all because you didn't touch her earlier. So it's really important to touch the girl as early as possible. So the way I do this is when I approach a girl, let's say day game, I will approach her and introduce myself or whatever after the opener, and I will give her a handshake, which is you are breaking the touch barrier when you shake a girl's hand. But a lot of guys, they think that's enough breaking the touch barrier, and it's not. Because after you shake the girl's hand, if first of all, I've told you in other live streams and other, I think probably videos on YouTube I've done, when you shake a girl's hand, hold it for a little bit longer, build that sexual tension, create that romantic vibe. Don't pull away until she does. And that's a really big thing. But besides that, again, and even if you do that, that's great. But then if you don't touch again after a little while, it's going to feel awkward. There's going to be too much space in between you. So when you do try to touch her again, it's going to feel weird to the girl. So instead, what I like to do, and this is why I like to use high fives, because they're a great way to spike the energy, spike the emotions, kind of reward the girl with physical touch, and break that touch barrier again very quickly. What's good, Supreet? So basically, you want to break that touch barrier very quickly. So I would, open the girl, and I would say, whatever, doesn't matter what I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into what I would say, but basically, I would open the girl and introduce myself, shake her hand, and then very quickly, I'm going to move into qualification. And when I move into qualification, then I am going to, if she qualifies and I like her answer to my qualifying questions, then I'm going to give her a high five. The high five, again, breaks the touch barrier and very quickly kind of spikes the energy and the interaction, spikes the emotions. And it's a very good way to frame your physical sexual touch. Even though a high five isn't sexual, it can be. It depends on, it's like, it all depends on the frame you're setting. So if you're giving the girl a high five for qualifying to you, you are physically escalating. A handshake is like the very bottom. Then the high five is the next step up. And she's going to feel like you're rewarding her with touch. And that's what the fuck you want. So, and you could even challenge girls and be like, oh, that's not, no, you can do better than that. And then they'll, you know, finally say something good enough. Then you give them a high five. Then you're really rewarding them with touch. You're subconsciously setting the frame that your sex is a reward for them qualifying to you, right? So basically, you would do the high five. And then what I like to do personally is I'll qualify them further, and then I will then step it up a notch and reward them with a hug. And I will verbalize that I'm doing that and say, you know, oh, okay, I like that. You get a hug for that. Like, you know, you get a hug for that. So then I'll go and I'll give them like a good hug too, like not a little fucking tentative hug. I'll go and I'll give them a good hug. A lot of times the girls get turned on when I do this shit. So I give them a hug, and then what am I doing again? I'm setting that frame. Sex is a reward. Touch, my physical escalation. So I'm never touching them unless I'm rewarding them. All right. Now that's the other part. So I guess I'm gonna go back and forth here. That's the other part of this that's really important. If you touch a girl and you physically escalate when you're not rewarding her and she hasn't done anything to please you and she hasn't qualified to you in some way, then your touch is going to feel like you're chasing her to her. It's going to feel like you're chasing the girl and you're trying to get something from her, and you have a creepy agenda to have sex with her where she feels like it's, you know, like your lower value and you're wanting to take something, right? Instead of giving the value of your touch for her seeking your validation, right? There's a huge difference there, guys, huge difference. And I've done all of it. I've fucked up in different ways where I've, like, you know, kind of tried to physically escalate on the girl, and when she wasn't giving me qualification, and literally you'll see like this kind of shift in them where they're like, ugh, like they get really turned off. So you do not, and then you're chasing them. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do. Never chase a girl with touch. Okay. So a couple last little things I'm gonna talk about are basically just kind of again, just going a little bit deeper into why it's so important to touch early like that, and how it's so important to reward her with the touch, because there's different levels. So another level of it, of why it's so important to touch early, is because it's also building comfort with the girl very quickly and making her feel like, you know, she's more connected to you already. Because touch, when you touch a girl, it creates connection, right? And when there's not enough touch, when there's not touch, there's a lack of connection, and she's going to feel that weird space between you, and it's going to make it awkward. Because men and women, when they're around each other, especially if there's any attraction or you're trying to create attraction or a seductive experience, then you want space and tension to be created, but you also, like, you can't just have it continue and go without touching. You have to have that physical connection, right? But for a woman, though, she has to feel that emotional connection before the physical connection. And that's why it's so important to qualify her and spike her emotions, get her attracted first, so then she'll feel that emotional connection, and then you reward her with the touch. Okay? So the last piece of this I'm gonna talk about is the other piece about the right way to escalate versus the wrong way, is that you have to always release the touch. You always have to take away your touch, like quick, like basically you give her a little bit of a touch and then you take it away, or you can literally push her away. It's a really powerful thing to do. It's like you touch the girl and then you say, like, okay, that's all you get. You don't even have to say anything like that, but just do it. Just physically push her away, or just release it, or different things. There's different ways you can do it, but the idea is you always want to remove the touch before she does, before, like, she feels uncomfortable. So if you're sensing she's feeling uncomfortable at all, remove the touch before she backs away, before she steps away, before she takes her hand off yours, whatever it is. Always be touching her a little bit and then taking it away. That's going to make her want more of it, and it's going to make her want to chase you physically. And she's going to feel kind of rejected. She's going to feel kind of like pushed away. And then she's going to be the one to physically escalate more on you, or allow you and give you more of the green light and kind of accept your physical escalation, because you're not constantly trying to go more and more and more. You're just doing it, and then you're taking it away, or you're pushing her away. It's kind of push-pull. And then because of that, she's going to want more of what was just taken away from her. It feels good. Women love being touched, but you have to do it the right way. You have to take it away and create that space for them to come to you and want more of your touch. Okay? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to pretty much, I think, end it there. That was tons of fucking value type of shit that, I mean, I would go a lot deeper and give you a lot more actual techniques of how to do all of these things and go up the entire escalation ladder of physical escalation in like a book or a product, video, digital course, whatever it is. Or if you're my one-on-one client, then I'm going to just give you everything. But for now, I'll just end it there, because that was still a lot of it. I definitely would have included some of that in something that I would be charging money for. So you guys definitely go out there and use this shit, because it's really fucking powerful. Everything I said in this live stream, use all of it. Touch early, touch right away early, break the touch barrier, escalate it with the high five and the hug, only as a reward. Frame your touch as a reward for her, and always push her away or pull your touch away. Remove your touch before she has the chance to do it herself. Okay, it's going to take some calibration. You're going to have to learn some lessons to fail, succeed, and you'll succeed after you keep doing it, because you'll calibrate. But yeah. So with that, I'm going to be out this piece. Oh, of course, as always, make sure you comment down below in the comment section, or not the comment section, but whatever. Leave a comment with your biggest takeaway from this, what you're going to apply immediately, how you're going to use this information, because I don't want to just be doing this if it's not being used. So Supreet, go out there and fucking do this shit. Everyone else who's watching, who's going to watch, go out there, use this shit, post in the comments, even if you get some results, post those, whatever. And yeah, or let me know of anything else that you want to add to the conversation about physical escalation. What are the ways that you like to physically escalate, or whatever, because this is, again, these live streams are nothing but value for you guys, but I also want this group, this Facebook group, to be a community of people supporting each other and learning from each other, because there's a lot of guys that have a lot of value, and I even learn from my students sometimes. Like, they'll do little things, even though like I'm more advanced than them, they'll do little things that I can like integrate into my own game. So always be open to learning from each other, support the community, and yeah, get this shit cracking. Go out there and physically escalate on some girls the right way, touch early, and you know what I'm saying, you will be closing like a boss in no time. All right, y'all. With that, Will Powers signing off. Peace.